this letter was like written by the marketing department to say, hey dude, check it out. Guess how much more we're going to gouge you on everything that you ever do. And I remember how frustrated and angry I was at that time. That's 20 years ago. We're back with another reaction video here. It's Richard Canfield of the Banker's Vault, and today we're doing one that I've seen before, and it's been quite a long time, but I remember I really enjoyed these commercials. I thought they were pretty funny. This is Barbara from Bank World, and I believe the bank is ANZ Bank. I'm not sure where they're located out of, but you know, I think these are going back probably a good 10 or 12 years or so. But yeah, I thought they were pretty funny. So let's go ahead and dig into Barbara from Bank World.
Barbara welcomes another customer into her bank world.
What?
You said I should open this everyday account because it had no monthly account fees.
No need to thank me.
I'm not. Look at all these.
Ah, yeah, you see, when I said no monthly account fees, it was no with a silent K, as in you may not know about the fees until the fees are charged. Your mistake?
If I had realised about these fees, I never would have opened it to begin with.
Okay, to avoid any further confusion on your part, let me make myself 100% clear. We prefer that no customers may know what we know about what fees they're being charged until we know that it's too late for them to say no.
I didn't understand a word you just said.
Go away.
Barbara lives in Bank World, but we live in your world.
Welcome to ANZ.
Where, with an ANZ Access Advantage account, what you see is what you get.
Well, so I mean, the first one, I mean, obviously, you know, you can kind of have a lot of different feelings when you're listening to this, though. So obviously, Barbara's got a pretty big attitude, and you know, I think it'd be interesting to hear some comments of people, like if you've experienced, probably not quote unquote a Barbara, you know, at a bank, but I imagine there's a feeling that comes with when you've gone to your bank and you've had that expression. You show up and they're like, wait a second, what's this fee? What's this thing you're charging me for here? And, you know, it's all this fine print, you know, business. And you think that you've been told, but of course you haven't. And I kind of reflect back. I'm watching this maybe with a fresh set of eyeballs. And I remember it was back in like maybe 2000, 2001, something like that. So quite a long time ago. And I received a letter from well-known Canadian bank with a green logo, and I've been a customer of theirs for a very long time. It was my first bank I ever opened up a brand account with, and I received this letter, and the letter was all about trying to sell me on how wonderful and how glorious that I was going to have more charges, more fees, and like, hey, guess what, Richard, you'll be happy to know if you go talk to a teller, it's only going to cost you $1 every time you talk to a teller. And hey, guess what, Richard, if you want to go and do this XYZ transaction, it's only going to cost you this much money, whereas before it cost me nothing for all those items. And it was like all these extra fees and charges and like increasing my, you know, monthly bank fee. And I had done like, it was just like a new policy. And they're like, this letter was like written by the marketing department to say, hey dude, check it out. Guess how much more we're going to gouge you on everything that you ever do. And I remember how frustrated and angry I was at that time. That's 20 years ago. And, you know, every time I had to go see a bank or go in to talk to someone, a teller, from that point forward, I was instantly like jaded about the experience because I remembered this letter. And it was just, it happened that one time. But now any kind of type of communication I get from a typical bank, you know, commercial bank, it just has that feeling attached to it. And every time I have to go talk to a teller, you know, they're wonderful. They're just amazing, great human beings trying to do their job. But they're stuck in the machine, and the machine is, I feel like the machine's designed to grind people up. You know, it's kind of like it's like a meat grinder for your money, and it's just, you know, chipping away at your value and what you value. So anyway, when I see Barbara, you know, that's kind of what's coming up for me now. So let's go ahead and take in the next one.
Now I'm busy and you're late, so let's not waste any more time, eh?
But I've been waiting out there for the last half hour.
Whatever.
Like, I love how she's coming in and she's obviously just like finished eating a cookie or something like that, so she got crumbs on her hands. But yeah, the attitude is palpable with Barbara from Bank World.
Listen, champ, you're a very valuable customer.
Well, the reason I
So I'm going to sign you up for something you haven't even asked for.
You can't do that.
Already in the system.
Well, I want to make a complaint.
Not my department. How about I transfer you to an automated service that'll promise to get back to you?
Then I want to speak to the manager.
That'd be me. But I'm in a meeting.
Barbara lives...
I don't know. I don't know where they found the actress to do these, but she's fantastic. Speak to the manager. I'm in a meeting. Yeah, but I love how she's just tic-tacking away. She's like, oh, don't worry, I'm going to sign you up for something you don't even need. No problem. Oh, what's that? Too late. It's already in the system. Oh, God. It's like I'm having flashbacks of going in and sitting at a branch or a teller's office, and they're tic-tacking away at stuff, and they're asking you the same ridiculous questions on repeat that you've already answered to someone else. And you're already in the system, like, why do you need to ask me this question again? Just help me get what I need. Are you here to help me? But, you know, they got their policies and procedures, and I'm sure there's a lot of valid reasons for that. But, man, oh, man, it just seems like you're fighting an uphill battle anytime that you're in to talk to a teller.
Well,
I've got a problem with your credit card rewards program.
you mean carrot? Can't achieve rewards regardless of time? What about it?
Well, I've been spending for years and I've got nothing to show for it.
You'd spend a bit more, sweetheart. You might get a kettle.
I have a kettle at home.
What do you want another one for? Oh, make up your mind.
You're confusing me.
You're confusing me for someone who cares.
So, do I have enough points to get anything?
Let's have a bit of... No.
Barbara lives in bank world,
Shame.
but we live in your world. Simply put your everyday spending onto your ANZ rewards and you could earn a $50...
I mean, this is really more points oriented, but it's about the service of the bank. But I think a lot of these cards, I mean, there's even websites that are just dedicated to try to help people navigate the different points or the different cards. And depending on what you do, this one's going to give you the best points, and this is what you should have. And it just all seems very ridiculous. And then, of course, they change every once in a while. Like you start out with a card and it's got XYZ points, and then they send you a letter that says, hey, guess what? We're upgrading your card or switching your card, and these points are going away, and you got these points now, and all those points kind of, you can use them, but maybe not really. So it's just silly how this stuff happens. You know, I think even, you know, Costco at one point, they were with, you know, they set up a deal in there with, I think it was American Express, and you get your Costco card with American Express and you get earn back points for this and that. And then they made a huge pivot, and it's like, no, you can't use that there. You can only use now MasterCard. And so if you already had that other, you know, card and you got that card because of Costco, and now it's like, hey, sorry, you just have an American Express that you don't use anymore. We're not honoring it. In fact, you can't even use it at our store any longer. Boom, you got to switch over to this. It's like just little things like that, you know, it seems like a small thing, but when these kinds of things happen repeatedly between, you know, big companies or big banks and stuff, and it just kind of feels like you're just getting beaten up a little bit over time. And I don't know, that's how I feel about it. I'd love to see some comments on how everyone else feels, and also if you're enjoying Barbara here from Bank World.
Get in.
Wouldn't we be more comfortable inside the house?
You're so comfortable in there, why do you want to move?
Okay. We're interested in some flexible home loan options.
Options? How many homes are you buying, Superman?
Just one.
Then it'll be option 1.
We just don't want to get stuck with the wrong loan if things change.
Aw, you'll have 25 odd years to get used to it.
How about a loan that's half fixed, half variable?
In case we have more kids.
More of them.
Barbara lives in bank world,
Hi, I'm from ANZ.
but we live in your world and bring you flexible home loans as Home Lender of the Year.
Barbara, she kind of gets around, eh? She's the bank manager. She works at Carrot, the points department. She's out doing house calls in a car doing mortgage deals. It's interesting. Anyway, I think these commercials are great. Obviously, you know, I'm not a massive fan of the banking institutions in general, but I like good marketing, and this, in my opinion, was really good marketing. So I hopefully enjoyed this reaction video to Barbara from Bank World, and you know, maybe there's some interesting opportunities for us to seek how we can find maybe a little bit of comedy in all the day-to-day irritants that come up for us when we're dealing with our banking institutions. Next time you're having a frustrating experience at your local bank, just reflect back to Barbara and put a smile on your face, I guess. Anyway, make sure you check out some more of our great content, and keep tuning in. We got a lot more great stuff coming up for you. And of course, we already have a massive amount of amazing stuff on our channel, so check it out.